Yo, good morning. It's Guido. We got a coffee talk. Unfortunately, no Pilgrim today, so you're gonna have to deal with me. Pilgrim's picture, yes, it's a gnarly elbow. Good morning. It is Sunday, the 16th of October. We got a lot of stuff happening, man. A lot of good stuff. A little bit of information about the Halloween event that's coming up. We have some stuff for sale. We got some G.I. Joe shilling to do and such. We got Odd Dog, Sutek, Randall Stickler, and Oh Brute, good morning. How are you? Midnight's here. Welcome to everybody. I got my coffee. You guys got your coffee? Got a nice gift from Pilgrim for my birthday. I don't have the cup, but I do have I called it a saucer, but I guess it's actually a coaster. But it says Guido mugs only allowed. The cup is in the dishwasher. Yeah, you're still in bed. You got ads at the bottom of the screen? I don't know what that's all about. I didn't do that. I promise you. Is this a new Twitch thing? Probably. Gone now. Okay, good. Good. Some pop-up thing, I would imagine. I bet that's probably browser related. Why do I have all the wavy lines? Am I not bright? Do I not bright enough? Any more brightness to make that go away, or is that just going to make me look washed out? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Good morning, everybody. Stickler, thanks for the sub. 31 months, amazing. Much appreciated. Well, what do we got going on, man? Lots of stuff. We got a lot of crap going on. Channel news, we'll start with that. What do we have channel news-wise? I'm working on the TS5. I probably have about 80-something battles on it, so that's my next tank to 100 battles. Enjoying that quite a bit. What's that? Sutek, by any chance you leave Pilgrim's picture? Yes, he's right there. Yes, we'll leave him in there. That way when I'm looking over there, it's almost like I'm talking to him. Next stream, I do not know, to be honest. Next week is busy, so we'll see what happens if I can get some time off next week. I'm sort of kind of toying around with the idea of maybe doing some early evening stuff, maybe once a week, if I can't get my day streams in based on time off, but we'll see what happens. Right now, next week, I'm scheduled every day. Actually, that's a slight lie. I might have time tomorrow. So there you go. Going from unknown to maybe tomorrow. And that's pretty much it for channel news. Not a lot going on. We did get a stream out yesterday. I could quit work and do this full time, and then I would be making about $200 a month. So that would be nice. And frankly, I may be overestimating that a little bit. Man, I would love to quit working at this point. I've kind of had it, to be quite honest. I don't think, it's not necessarily that I don't want to work, it's that what I'm doing is starting to irritate just a little bit. But cannot afford it. And that's it for channel news, man. That's all I've got. Well, I did want to announce one thing. We are going to, again, do this Christmas. I think I mentioned it maybe a couple weeks ago. We're going to do the Tankers Helping Tankers thing this Christmas again. So start thinking about people over the year that you might think need a pick-me-up over the Christmas season. So we're a couple months out, not really ready to get going on it, but just keep that in the back of your mind if you have somebody to nominate who might like a bundle. We'll have to wait and see what happens with the whole Christmas thing, how the boxes work, all that stuff. The assumption is that we'll be able to buy boxes and just hand them to them. So that will happen. Oh, do I still have this onslaught thing going on? Hold on, let me try to fix that. These freaking polls, man, I'll tell you what. I really should figure them out. I should put that on my list of things to do. It's not near the top. I'm going to tell you that for nothing. Where's the polls? This thing is still going, so we'll just close that. There we go. We'll complete it. Okay. We'll have to watch that. That thing won't be going, huh? Except when you have no money to do so. Yes. Retired and now work for the house, General. Not a bad plan. Not a bad plan. I could theoretically retire, but I would not be able to do the things I can do now, and I still have 2 kids in college. So I don't think that's a great idea right now. All right, missions and specials. Here we go. Crimson Spy is the code for Commander AF, and that is a TS5, 3-day rental. We'll go through the G.I. Joe stuff, although I put a video out, and I think most of you already know. We'll blast through that real quick here in a moment. We'll show you how to do all that in case you haven't messed with it. You can get yourself a free Duke or a free Cobra Commander. Battle Pass 9's ongoing. Let's see, I'm on, let's get over here to the World of Tanks thing. I am on level 23 right now of the 3rd chapter. So just about halfway through the 3rd chapter. I still have some tokens here. Remember, guys, the tokens will go away at the end of this chapter, or end of this season, I guess. Tokens will get you the tanks, or they will get you some economic reserves or 100 bonds. I've been focusing on bonds down here. The points are unlocked when you unlock all 3 of the chapters for this season, or whatever it is, whatever they call it. And then you can use the points in the point shop. Yeah, I do bonds as well, Diablo. Good morning, Cliffy. Good morning to you. The points... Right. These are the styles. You can get crew members, which I have all of. This feels like it's jacked up somehow. And then there's some bonds. So there's more bonds for the points over here. That's what I did last time. Remember, you have to unlock all 3. So those things are out there. Since we're already talking about this section, let's just keep rolling with this part. Kind of dove into the UI first, but again, I just want to mention over here, if you go into Depot and come down here to the, whatever this is, parachute, this is the big one I want you to note. This, you can crank points up in this Million Pugs thing, and down here you can get kits. So 5 of those coins will get you 3 of the kits. They started out with 10 available, so you can see I've already done 15. I've got another 31 points, so I'll crank that out as well. And it goes to the 31st, so the end of the month. Just remember that's there. It's a great way to grab a bunch of free kits. And then for 40 points, you can get a couple styles. These are some of the more popular ones, especially the Ad Astra, I think, and some decals if you're into the decal thing. So you can do that. Beware that the free Duke Cobra Commanders obtain. Yes, somebody told me that. Was that you? Was that your alt on... I bet it was, right? Because you're on Southeast Asia. Yeah, so what he's saying is they don't have the Duke and Cobra Commander that you can get, don't have a 0 skill. Of course they don't. Why would they? So you're getting, so what you're saying, Sutek, is we're getting the Walmart version of Duke and Cobra Commander. Stickler, brother, I am with you on that. Yep. Yeah. That's, you know, we don't get into politics here, but the fact of the matter is that with the current situation, whoever you want to blame, I don't care. Don't want to talk about it, but the fact is we're down about a third, quarter to a third. So I'm with you, my friend. It's same boat. No, it's a bad combination. Whoever's fault it is, whoever's fault you think it is, it's not good. I'll tell you that. All right, so make sure you take care of all those things. And Gunslinger has been over for a while. The new campaign, I believe, is starting pretty quickly for Twitch, Amazon Prime, or Twitch Prime. That's what it is. So watch out for that. Should be pretty soon. And then the Twitch Drop store, which is, and I've got 3 coins here. That new one has started, and I think I've done my weekend stuff. So tomorrow on Monday it'll restart and it's ready to go again. So you start your weekly and weekend thing once again. Now I've used, I don't remember what was in here. There was kits or something that I used them on. There is some premium down here at the bottom, but I think one of the things people are really going to like is that you can actually pick up 4 or 5. Looks like, nope, 6. Is that all 6 of them? I think it is. You can get the pack that has the commander for the EU CCs if you want them. So there you go. Now, what's funny about Orzanel is he's pretty far down on this list. Oh, wait a minute. There's the rest of them. I'm completely blind. All right, so he's on the bottom. If you go into the store, we'll look at it in just a minute. His package is actually at the very bottom of the store. Poor Orzanel, man. He's down there in the B tier for some reason on the store. But there you go. You guys interested in any of these? I mean, it's a commander, so I'm sure anyone will take a free commander. I don't know who Multi-Show is. I have no idea who that is. You know what I mean? Sircon, I've heard of him. Daki, Dez, Quickie, Skill, obviously Myland, Awesome Epic, and Orzanel. But this dude, I have no idea who this guy is. None. I'll have to look it up. Will I? Probably not. I may find it in passing. All right. That's because I'm edgy. See how edgy I am? Gosh, I'm edgy. That was Battle Pass 9. Rolled into some stuff in the UI. Million Pugs we talked about. Oh, Swordfish style. Is this, for you guys, is this still going on? I got the Swordfish style. It was over here in events. That's the question, Sutek, right? Which ones do have the best voice lines? It might be worth it to have some funny voice lines. He does some of their shows. Okay, Midnight. There you go. It did. It ended. Okay. So the Swordfish thing is gone. All right. I wondered if it went away because I finished it. I was going to tell you guys about it. It's actually pretty cool. And that style, you may have finished it, by the way. If you weren't tracking it, you may actually have it in your stuff. So it's a tier 10 heavy. And it's for the MIVI, the M5Y version. And that's what it looks like. It's actually pretty cool. Oops. Bright sun. Bright light. It's got the old airplane shark's teeth thing going on. Not bad with the 3D stuff, so it's not, you know, there's not some mass, although that is a pretty big machine gun for this tank, but it's not a gigantic 4-barrel AA gun or anything. So it's a good style, man. I like that style. Very cool. And it was a cool little event because it was pretty easy to do. I mean, you had to play, right? You had to do stuff, but you get a really cool style out of it. So do that every once in a while. That's a great idea. Diablo, you can do that. Yep, you can do that. Only on occasion do you really need to pay attention where you have to do something specific. Like say it's some scout thing and you don't often play scouts. You may have to pay attention to it. Play a certain class or try to do a certain thing. But generally, that works. You just play the game and stuff shows up in the garage. Just around midnight, play 2 battles on it. Yeah, damage blocking for sure, Bitwise, absolutely. What's going on, Midnight? You're just not digging it? There you go, Diablo. I figured you did. If you play anytime at all, other than Midnight's on strike, it looks like. Other things, there you go. That's valid, and that's why Pilgrim's not here. He's got some family stuff going on, some kind of party event. You like to log in once a day? Just log in and crap shows up. I'm with you, man. Just log in and I don't want to play your game. I just want free stuff that I don't use to show up in my account. Each their own, man. That's one way to do it. That's one way to do it. All right, guys. Let's chill a little bit. I've sort of got off track, but that's what we do around here. All right. This is. You hear that? It sounds like it might be running out of battery right there. It's like. Finally figured out you weren't on NA. Oh, that's you that sent me that replay? I may still use it. I haven't looked at it yet. Yeah, SA is a little nutty, isn't it? SA is a little nutty. Let's do some shilling, man. Let's do some shilling. Let's see here. I'm figuring out this Stream Deck thing. Coming along on it. I don't know if it's any faster than clicking around on OBS, but if the OBS app, whatever I'm trying to say, the winder is somewhere else on the screen or not available otherwise, it's actually pretty cool how it all works. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. I got to faff around with something. I'm thinking I need a third screen. That may be my Christmas present to me. Because then I can put the chat on a third screen somewhere. Right now I kind of have to move it around sometimes. So it's not quite as easy as I'd like it. Server issues of the last patch. One day multiple disconnects in battle, then SA, but seems stable now. Yes, people were reporting a lot of rubber banding and craziness especially with onslaught mode. The other CCs were talking about that, so unknown what it was. They don't go away if you don't do them every day. Thanks, Cliffy. All right, we'll talk about G.I. Joe in a minute, but what he's talking about is there are 5 missions for 5 days to get some doodads for the first 5 days of the event, and they were time gated, I guess, by day. So for each day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Math in Public, what, Tuesday, is that where we're going to go to? Something like that. What I was concerned about is if you missed a day, if you could make it up, and it sounds like you can, so that's good. Your gun wouldn't fire? Like at all? Or just near the reload? They all last to the 24th. Good. I'm hoping there's actually some missions tied to the picking of teams. All of one battle? Did you not have any ammo? I am D. Cardi. I am a CC. Yep. NA. I'm an NACC. I'm a little CC, like lowercase C's, not uppercase. You'd have to use lowercase CC's for me, but yes, a little one. It wouldn't fire all game. I'm asking you obvious questions. You did have ammo, right? Stuff like that. That's crazy. Swapping ammo fixed it. So Terry says he's seen that before too. Holy cow. There was a bug for the 3 markings mod where if you were fighting against skill, you would get a slight delay. We went over that. That was a couple of years ago, as I remember. Something. Kit bug when you're tabbing around. Holy cow. That would suck. Did you ram somebody? My wife just loves it when I can't. Copy. Can't go to the firing range. Okay, let's shill. I promise shilling. It's time to shill. Let's go over here and see what we got. Eventually something will load. Yes? No? No, you just died and lost MOE. Oof. Yeah, on an MOE effort, that's the worst right there. That's for sure. Here's the G.I. Joe stuff. Right up here. You got to click on that. There's also a tab for it. We'll get to it in a minute, but it's up here in the top. G.I. Joe right up here. These are the CCs. It comes with some doodads. For example, if we go to Awesome Epic Guys, for example, and we wait because for some reason it's a long load, you're getting 5 items here. You're getting a style. That's actually cool. Some emblems, and you get the commander. So essentially you're buying a commander with all that. Are they 0 skill? Deck kills or what does he come with? Doesn't really say, does it? Comes with Brothers in Arms as a 0 perk. There you go. So Brothers in Arms, 0 perk commander. Remember, you can get one of these with enough points from the current Twitch drop campaign. So save up your points. Yes, I got to make some commissions, Zutech. I get 5% on all these sales. Just put in code Guido. That's not true. That doesn't happen at all. Not even close. All right, so this is what I was talking about. Here's the 6 guys, right? These are the top tier CCs. Poor Orzanel / good job web page guy. Whee! Oh, there he is. He said, that sucks, man. Doesn't that suck? That sucks. He got screwed. I don't know if it's like that on the other web pages. I bet it's not. I bet on EU. I bet it's right. I should go look at that. Anywho, I thought that was kind of funny. It's funny, but not funny. You know, because I think they probably get some money from that, to be quite honest. So they're probably profit sharing on that, and that matters. You know what I mean? In the big scheme of things, that matters, because people don't generally scroll. They're like, oh, here's the CC packages. Which one should I get? Right? 10%. Yeah, skill. Yeah, skill and quickie are going to sell some for sure. I wish they would. It would be super awesome if they released the data. I would be really curious. They never will because that's business and it's none of our business really. But it would be cool to know. You know what I mean? I think it would. Just as gee whiz kind of stuff. There's some not skills. There's some styles if you're into that. We got $24 for 8 styles. These are all old. They've been released in various forms. Generally, you can get them for free. I don't really recommend that, to be honest with you. That's terrible shilling, but I don't recommend buying styles unless it's a style you just really like. Clearly do what you want. But you get so many free styles in this game, you rarely really have to buy them unless it's just something you want, 100 Twitch points available in this season, so you'd be able to select up to 2 of those commanders. When did the season start? Was it last week? Because I don't know if I may have already spent some points. But it looks like there's some slop. So if there's 100 points, 2 commanders, Math in Public is 89. I'm just kidding, it's 70. So you have 30 points to play with if you've already used some for some reason. The Sturv K, Saturday. Okay, so 5. There you go. So you're not too far off. You need to save up 70 to get your 2 commanders. I'll do that. I don't know which 2 I'm going to pick. Maybe we should have a contest on which 2 commanders Guido has to pick. I don't know why that would be a good contest. It just came to mind, and it sounds like it kind of sucks, to be quite honest. But what the hell. Sturv K is back. $88, my friends. But you have to get it with the crew and gold and days. Can you just buy the Sturv K somehow? So you have to just scroll around. It doesn't look like it. Unless I missed it. Oh, there it is. There it is. Found it. Sturv K. $55. Holy cow. Wait, 55 or... Oh, 88. That is considerably different. That is, but there's the gold and the days and all the other messing going around. 50T. I've actually seen some 50Ts running around. I'm imagining this is why, maybe. I don't know. $123. Hey, Wayne. $123. $123. No, don't listen to Diablo. This is really a good tank. I mean, I would definitely, if it was 2013 or 12 or so, then if you were gonna travel back into time to 2012 or 13, buy this. All right. But if you're in 2022, I recommend not. I think probably Diablo is right. It's an interesting tank, but it is so far out of the meta. So far out of the meta. Yuri's going to have to hold on, all right? This is my show. Okay? See, there's 30 of us here. I say what I want. You watched me get vaporized in one yesterday. No, not quite. You watched me get vaporized in the Tier 9 Lorraine 50T, not the FCM 50T. That was the Lorraine. It was a Tier 9 that I got vaporized in, not this thing. Very similar, though. Very similar. In terms of crappy. No, that's not true. I think the 9's pretty good. Some other various standard tanks here. Nothing really to write home about. For some reason, they're selling cola and some decals. I don't even know what this is attached to or what the point is here. Red Desert, which has some strange Hindu-looking thing here. Some cola and Jack of all trades decal. This is the oddest. What is the connection on this? Anybody have any idea? I did get the 52. It was the last one, Bitwise. There were no. I used all my coins. That's me. I'm a collector. I'm all over the place. They threw darts at a wall. Yeah, isn't it odd? That's the goddess of RNG. Oh, okay. Is that why it has so many hands? Miss, miss, miss. Critical hit. Track, miss. Ricochet. Is it? Those are. Each hand represents a way to not hit something or damage it. One of those is leave 1 hit point, miss, critical hit, track, ricochet, screen not penetrated. Is that right? I think that's all the possibilities are close to it. Yeah, that one was odd. I couldn't figure that one out. A couple other tanks. The 122 is back out again. I kind of like that tank. I think it's way better than people thought it would be. 1357 and some other doodads. I think that's all we got there. Let's go. Oh, holy cow. Nothing really in premium specials, because specials are different than vehicles, I guess, or something. We've got these guys. Oh, is poor Orzinel on the bottom of specials as well? Oh, this is horrible. Is he down? Yep. down at the bottom. Son of a. You can buy that that 3D style that you could get for free is $20. Woof. All right, is that the most expensive 3D style we've ever seen? It's up there, right? That is, as I can recall anyway, that seems like one of the most expensive 3D styles. Now you know why vaudeville died? I killed it. Oh, man. G.I. Joe, let's go here. What do we got? Well, we've got the Baroness in the Cat, the Mobile Crimson Attack tank. And we have CoverGirl in the Wolverine, which looks amazingly like the actual toy, as does the Cat for the Renegade. Somebody was saying they thought the Cat looked a little bit more like a Basante. I'll buy that because the toy is a little more angled than the Renegade is. Not working as intended. No, well, we're too small, dude. Seriously, I mean, I don't. If you look at the CCs they used, the only CC that's anywhere near the size of any of those guys is Klaus. Nobody else pulls in the same amount of people, even as Klaus. And Klaus is at the bottom end of those guys in terms of market share, or I guess, or whatever you want to call it. It's just the way it is. I would love to do it. That's fine. It's cool. But Wargaming gets, 100, 200 people watch my videos, sometimes 300 or 400 on a good one. There's 30, 40, maybe up to 80 on occasion on this channel. So, some of that, we've talked about it a lot in the past. Some of that is I'm not out there as much doing it daily. Some of those guys are daily. I don't think I would get to those levels anyway. It would certainly be a little bigger than I am now. But, as we've talked about, this is more of a hobby to, let's call it semi-pro at best. Low-level semi-pro. Yeah, and, dude, Klaus is funny. I mean, the voices, he is. Now, it can get a little much at times. Sometimes I think he goes off the deep end. I will say that lately, I think he's made a big effort to learn a little more about the game and get better. Some of the things he's saying and doing now while he's playing, a bit different, I think, than even lately, recent past. Let's put it that way. Eva the Diva, an amaranth in a hot tub. So when you go to Twitch, she's almost always at the top, right? Because that top row, because if she's on, because she has so many viewers. So the other day, she was doing it was a pool thing or whatever, bikini pool stream. And I've watched it like once just to kind of see what's going on. When I say watch it, a few seconds, 10 seconds, 30, I went there yesterday. I'm like, so this is it, right? She just lays around by a pool and then basically leans over the camera multiple times in unnecessary, positions. Clearly, they're obviously doing that for a reason. And let's just say this without, maybe if I get attacked by the Amaranth legions or whatever. she has a very distasteful personality. Man, it's like, wow. Totally jaded. I mean, I guess if you do that long and there's that many dudes watching you and saying all the ridiculous things that probably get said. Yeah, I did, because I was curious what the hell you would say in a situation like that, Cliffy. You know what I mean? It was, anyway, teach their own. People like it. Go for it. All that good stuff. It was weird. Anyway, I'm here talking about a video game, so I guess I'm weird as well. Whatever, don't care. You can also get the TS5 and the T54 first prototype. These were the ones from the last collab. So I had another idea that I thought would be kind of funny. You know what we should do is get everybody who's got these skins and do a G.I. Joe versus Cobra event in a test room or whatever it is. Practice room. What is it? What the hell are they called? Practice room? Test room? Whatever. I don't know. Anybody up for that? That would be kind of funny. So Team Cobra would have to use all Cobra styles, and Team G.I. Joe would have to use all G.I. Joe styles. And I think it would have to be training room. Thank you. I think it would have to be on like Malinovka or someplace where we could just rage forward. None of this try to go to spots or stuff. It's just everybody go after everyone. I know, but who cares? It's not to win. It's to have fun. Dude, you guys, oh my God. You're not getting the concept, man. So imagine, the TDs go to just push out into the field in Malinovka, and here comes all the heavies and whatnot, and they just start blapping people. Yes, once the 54 Mod 1s and the Renegades got in and amongst the TDs, it would probably be bad. Province Valley Rager. That's not a bad idea. Everyone has to come down the hill. Can you even put those tiers on Province, even in a training room? Anyway, let's say you could do it. Everybody has to come down into the valley on Province. They all line up down at the bottom, one on each side, and then they just start blasting. Maybe you even do it no maneuvering. Although that might get a slight advantage. That might give a slight advantage to the TS5s. Because they would be fairly... Cobra isn't allowed to aim. That's right, because they can't hit anything, right, Bitwise? That's right. Sutek, it's a good point. We're not supposed to have any fun. Anyway, I'm thinking about that. Maybe we'll put that together. We'll do it in GFLC and invite others in there and see if we can't just do something goofy like that. All right. Where were we? I don't know. G.I. Joe. A couple things to know about this G.I. Joe event. We talked a bit about it on the stream. I did put a video out about it. But realize what you're going to want to do if you've missed all that and you're just hearing about it, you're going to want to go to this article on the webpage. You're going to want to slide down here, pick Joe or Cobra, but wait, check who's winning because you probably want to win. What has happened here? It's like it got reset or something. Did they set... Where were we? Did they set the limit at 100 or some weird... Or 50 or something? It looks like it's either reset... Doesn't matter. Cobra's been ahead by 2. This number was much higher on both sides yesterday, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. But in any event, Cobra is winning by twice. So if you want to win... I don't know what the win gets you. My assumption is that it's going to give you the commander, so you'll get Baroness. I don't know. There's been no SA from World of Tanks from Wargaming NA, Watt NA. Multiple CCs have asked, and they have an answer. It might be, tight leather for the win. It might be that there's some missions tied to it later also, too, and in addition to, because usually when you pick a team, You pick a team, they give you a few days grace period to do that, and then there's some kind of thing going on. Wind gets you a coupon. Yeah, so you can spend money. It's a good point. And it gets you a commander. It gets you a commander who will show up in your barracks like a disc. As you can see, I have an extra Duke now. That's a good one. I have an extra Duke. Fantastic. So we have an extra Duke in here. He is not 0 skill, as noted by several of you guys. Thank you for that information. Was he before? I don't remember. Let's find out, because I think I put him in... Where did I put Duke? Is he actually in the TD? I'll just take a quick look, see if I can find him. I don't know if I actually put him in there. I did. Let's do this. Is he 0 perk? He is. So we're going to put Brothers in Arms as the 0 perk. All right, so yes, they were 0 perk. Confirmed. Although that is what you guys told me. I'll deal with this later. There you go. Very interesting. Got to Duke. That's exactly right. Duke Nukem. The Walmart Duke. Yes, we got the Walmart Duke. So that's pretty funny, isn't it? It's what we talk about this a lot. Was that an oversight, or was it on purpose? Right? I feel like it was on purpose, because wouldn't you have just created that character like that from the beginning? I don't know. Mentor or jack of all trades? Mentor is a long game skill. Mentor is a long game skill, meaning it's gonna, if that's a crew you're gonna use and use and use and use. That might be the answer bitwise possibility. Then maybe Mentor in any one battle, jack of all trades is going to help you out if somebody's dead. Jack of all trades is less useful these days when there's recharges on your skills. But for that period of time when you don't have the kit, you're going to have less of a decrease. Yeah, Stickler. I think generally yes, but still there is that 30-second period or 90 or whatever it is that the cooldown is. That Jack of all trades will be useful. So Mentor is only useful over the long term, theoretically, somewhat more quickly training your crews. It's not theoretically, it is, but once you get to 5th or 6th skill, I don't know really how much more boost that is, to be honest. That's right, it is a crew training weekend, midnight. Yep. What's a bug? A bug with the 6th sense change. Oh, right. No. Yeah, possibly. I wonder if I pick him. Has anybody put him in a tank yet? If you pick him, does that little thing come up and it says, hey, change the switch, put the new 0 perk in? It's raining in Dallas. Nice. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm using Eagle Eye on some people, actually, because I have enough skills on some of them. All right, so that's the G.I. Joe stuff. We did dive into the UI a little bit already. We talked about Million Pugs. So let's do the Cruise Crucial for just a minute, just to let you guys know. And it is right here. It's the standard thing, guys. So we've got spec changes are 25% off. You can do the retraining. You've got barrack slots if for some reason you need those. And then the reset is the big one. Now this is the cynical piece right here. This weekend is set for, or Cruise Crucial was set for this weekend. It's also the first weekend after the patch where they kind of boned everybody with how they did. They kind of boned everybody with how they did it. I did not have any issues with Ian DeCardi, thank you for asking. That was down in the south. I'm up in the Panhandle in Panama City. Well, we didn't even really get any wind. We had like 2 windy days of 20 to 25 knot winds, and it was clear skies. We got the outer edge of the winds of it and nothing else. So thank goodness for us, but very not good for them. I had a Cat 5 here that ran my house over 4 years ago in 2018, so I'm done with that for a while. But yeah, it did more damage down there. The surge got them down there, whereas the wind got us up here. Jote particularly useful when using a small med kit because those only heal 1 crew member. There you go, Sutek. All right, good point. Good point. They only heal 1 guy. Yep. So if you've got to make a choice on the one, you got a couple dead, a couple hurt, you want to do a choice, at least the other guy will get some help with the jack of all trades. So crew is crucial is going on. Let's talk about that. I think we're done shilling. We'll move on to subjects du jour. 1.18.1 came out. And we were speculating on how it was going to work. And it worked in a... Yeah, the PRs are okay. But here we go. We'll just go to this. So, Duke here, I just showed you basically if it's a 0 skill guy that you have to pick a new 0 skill. I would recommend a perk as opposed to one that's a skill because it gives you an automatic 100% perk that you may not have had before, or it slides a perk over and makes room for other skills. However you want to look at it. But I picked Brothers in Arms. Maybe that's a mistake. I don't know. Probably don't know. Anyway, I have... Can you see the percentage here? This is what drives me crazy with this training. I'm picking a new skill. Here it is. So this... no. Does it not tell me? 100%. That's 6 cents. I don't see anywhere here that will tell me what the percentage actually is that I'm about to choose. You pick signal boosting. I think you made the right choice, Midnight. Muskrat hasn't been on for a while. Oh, man. No, I haven't heard from him. So what happened is the 6 cents that you had was moved into here, a commander feature. But all it did was shift all the skills down. Instead of saying, all right, my 6 cents was 100%, the next skill I get to pick will be 100%. And whatever was at the end of the list stays where it was. What you're going to do is, and I will pick one here for you, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to pick repairs, actually, because I don't care too much about any of that stuff. And it's a heavy tank. It will select, and what happens here is I'm at 95%. So instead of letting you trade 100% 6 cents for something else at 100% and leaving what you had at the end where it was, they've just shifted everything down, and you pick the last skill that may or may not be 100%. Probably isn't, based on the way it works, unless for some reason you happen to be right at 100%. Unlikely on your end skill. The screw job there is if you're managing your crew and you have already spent some gold to reset your repairs to the end because you're working perks that take 100%. So if you do that kind of stuff, and it's really critical, I think, for guys at about this skill level, somewhere around 3 to 4 skills, I would say, people start to spend some gold and money to shift things around so that as you're slowly working the last end skill, the current skill, you make it a skill because that skills will work while they're not 100%. So people spend money to do that, and then they do this, and you might not have a skill you want to pick. It happened to be okay for me here because I had repairs, and that's what I wanted. But say I was done with these on really high skill crews, and I go, shit, well, I want sound detection because that's the only one that's worth it to me. Is Jack of all trades a skill? Yes. Eagle-Eye's a perk. So 2 of these are perks. 2 of them are skills. But say it's a perk I wanted. I want to trade the perk for the perk I lost, which is 6 cents. But you can't do that. I mean, you can, but it's not going to work. The perk won't work. At which point, then you have to spend another amount of gold to re-switch stuff around again. I think that was poor. And maybe I didn't explain it very well. I think you guys know what I'm saying. I think that was poor on their part. I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm going to be honest with you. What do you guys think? Is that making a mountain out of a molehill? Is it a small irritation? Does it really matter? I don't know. What do you guys think? You got a free perk. Okay. Well, there you go. That is one way to look at it. The 6 cents became a free perk, and now you just get to pick a new skill, perk, or whatever. I just think from a PR perspective, public relations perspective, it should have just been a straight swap for a 100% thing for a 100% thing. I mean, ultimately, I guess it doesn't matter, and yes, it was a change and free and all that stuff, but it's a slight irritation because, again, it looks like, even if it's not the situation, it looks like they're trying to get people to spend gold to reset their crews, and that would only be really people who are high-end players that got a lot of crews, all that kind of stuff. Particularly when they had developed the ideal approach for selecting 0 XP skills. Yeah. Yeah, artillery, that's the other thing. And you noticed this tank, I mean, I don't remember the last time I played it. It's been since the last G.I. Joe thing when I was showcasing the 3D style. But I have all kinds of tanks. Here's one. Yep, so this guy, I've probably reset a dozen, maybe 20 of them, and I have another 650 or so to go. So, not all of them have crews, actually. Well, I'm not worried about that. I don't care about whether it's a perk or a skill. I'm just saying that the 100% should have been traded for another thing at 100%, so that if it is a perk people want to replace it with, it works. As opposed to putting a perk at the end of your list and then having to spend money to reset to get a skill at the end of the list. That may be something, I was going to say it might be something they want to rework, but again, your point's valid. Some of them are perks because they don't really do sliding scale kind of things. They're analog, they're either on or off kind of thing. This is the new button for getting to your PRs. In case you don't know, it's up here on the right. I cannot tell you how many times I've done this trying to start PRs for the last week. It's not there anymore. It is up here. So it's cool. You go here, you clickety-click. It was a little bit confusing at first, but it makes sense. There are some things that have been combined, so you don't have quite as many different kinds. They're all 1 hour, as you can see, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. This is the cool one for me. Crew and free XP being added together, that's actually nice. That's really nice. So essentially there's 3 kinds, and there's 3 slots. So you've got your combat XP. I have a couple kinds here. I have one at 50 and one at 100. All right, fair enough. There's only one kind of credit thing. It's 50% for an hour. Awesome. And then there's right now 2 kinds. I've got a plus 300 and a plus 200 for free and crew XP. So you have 3 slots and you can start all 3. That's good. If you're going to do clan reserves, it's from the same page. That's nice. The only bummer is that it actually takes you over to the clan page. So you can't really start it from there. I wish you could. I don't really know why. There's probably some more, obviously there's more coding and things they have to do. But it's the same idea. You go up to here, that's another click, and then you come down here, and that's another click, and then you click there. So they streamline that part. Hopefully they work on the other. But I would say overall this is a great change. I like it. I've got 783 of them bad boys. That's more than I thought. The other changes are maps, which I like. Some of the changes to the maps, those are good. I'm still learning a bit about them. Nitpicking crew skills. I wish perks and skills were called binary and continuous skills. Item skills and perks is very confusing. Yeah, when you're learning. Yep. Yeah, Cliffy, that's a good point. It is nice that it's on one page. I do appreciate that it's all on one page. And yes, you get where you need to be by going to the clan reserves. It would be nice if you could activate them from here, though. I guess there's a technical reason, or maybe they'll get to it, or they don't want people to be able to just start them from here. I'm not sure. I think there's only certain people in the clan that are allowed to start reserves, right? So it may be a lot of that kind of thing. I 3-marked it a long time ago. I haven't 3-marked stuff recently in a long time. I don't know. I bet it's not even close to 90 right now. No, it's at 95 still. This tank was a lot better years ago. I mean, 3-marking's been around for a while. This was a really solid heavy for a long time. It's just been power crept so bad. I mean, the gun is awesome on this thing. The armor used to be pretty good. Now it's not great at all. I don't know, I just liked it. Just did well in it. We'll just leave it up there with my 3-mark. Just want to brag. You know what I mean? All right, I think we're done. Yes, that's true. You can activate while in countdown in the game. And in the game. Very cool. That is very cool. I like that a lot. I have to say, it has to be said, as much as we get on wargaming about stuff on this channel, that the last couple patches have brought some really good quality of life and UI and small changes. Little changes to maps, problem areas, at least trying to work on those things. Some skill changes, crew changes, some little things that have just made quality of life improvements. So I will give them absolute credit for that. That's a good thing. Yeah. Yep. Well, man, it's such an old game with so many things going on, so complicated. I mean, you look at this screen and just all these buttons that do all these different things. You can tell as a new player, you're like, what on earth is all this crap, you know? Then you click somewhere and you don't really know where you went and how you get back and what does all this mean? You know, there's so much here. We all know what all this means, but if you were new, goodness gracious, that would be rough. All right, Onslaught. Anybody played Onslaught? I've played 11 battles. Maybe 12, actually. You can figure out how things are going by going over here. There's a ceasefire currently. Oh, they fixed their clock. They fixed the clock. It's actually showing you to today's ceasefire, not tomorrow's. That's good. It used to show 20-something hours. So here it is. You go here. I have 48 points. I'm still a debutante. We come over here, and I don't know how many wins, 6 or 5 or whatever. It's probably 5 wins. It's hard to, yeah, there's a little tick right there, so I think that's 5 wins maybe. Oh, there it is. There's a big number 5 right there in front of me. Figured it out. That was hard. But you need 160 to get to the end. It's just, there's goodies along the way. There's bonds and whatnot. It goes to the 20th, so we have 4 more days. So I barely played it, so I'm not going to get anywhere. I mean, I don't know if I'll even get 20, to be honest. But there was quite a few bonds available, and then there was this nice improved compressor. So you really had to kind of get on it to check my dress out. Yeah. Oh, is that November 20th? Oh, good call. Thank you, Reed Tower. Yes, November 20th. All right, I was incorrect. Maybe I will get along. I don't know if I get 160. I'd have to get on my horse, man. But still, that's a month. That's 34 days math in public, something like that. Ish. Certainly 30 days. So let's see, 30 days, 160. What's 160 divided by 30? If you just got started today, I could do that math in my head, but I don't want to. 5 a day? Is that right? Yeah? Huh. Okay. That kind of changes things. I didn't really pay close attention. The thing that's good about this is this win thing down here, right here, for all these different goodies, is relatively divorced from the classification system of, debutante, iron rank, bronze rank, etc. Meaning that you can eventually get yourself to 160 battles, and it really doesn't matter how many points you have in the ranking system. And as Reed Tower says, at the last one, you do get your improved compressor and a bunch of bonds and goodies, stuff along the way. Oh, Brute, have a good one, man. Good. Spoil them grandkids, man. Good on you. Backload your play so you don't have to worry about the points loss if you take a break. Warfiend, yeah, look, so this is an interesting conversation, actually, and topic. It was on my list, so I might as well get into it. I played my first dozen or so games and my 5 wins. I think it was 12 games or 11, something like that. Somewhere it actually tells you how many you played, I believe. And I won 5 of 6, or I went 5 and 6 or 5 and 7, something like that. But I was playing the Mana Core. The thing is, this mode, if you're going to be realistic about how you're doing it, you want to min-max your chances. And really, scouts, other than maybe a couple maps, and really not even those maps, to be honest with you, are not. It's not a scout mode. It really isn't. It's a medium. If you want to do some scouting stuff, you might have yourself a medium set up with some optics or potentially CVS. I don't know, but something to get around some of the bigger maps and do some of the scouting stuff. But as a general rule, you don't need to do that because it's basically a brawl at or near the cap. So there's really, as Wayne said, there's really no scouts needed. But that kind of pisses me off because I wish they would make stuff where all the classes could play. I even saw a guy bring in an artillery on one of them, and I went around the mana cord and found him and killed him. We ended up winning the battle too on that one. So he gimped his team, and I'm gimping my team by playing a scout. Now you can do it, and let's say you're going to play a bunch anyway, and you're not that worried about cranking up through the ranks and all that, and you're also not worried about your team being mad that you're bringing a mana core or a scout. You could eventually get to the 160. It's just you are gimping yourself and your team a little bit by running scouts. Kind of sucks, but there you go. And certainly Artie. But I'll tell you, I do enjoy running it, and I do better than half the team nearly every time. So, now, that's opportunity cost. Could I have done even better in another tank? Yes, more than likely. Yeah. A couple of maps are almost useless for scouts. Although I will say I got on Ensk in the Mana Core, and I did some good work. In fact, it was one of my better games. Got out in the field, tracked down their scout, took him out, got around behind him, and started messing with him. Then a couple of them chased me, pulled them out of the fight, blah, blah, blah. Again, that being said, any kind of organized team in 7v7, that's never going to work. It doesn't matter. They're going to ignore the scouts, shoot them in the back. They'll try to cover up and not get hit by it. They're going to keep pushing the team, the bigger tanks, take them out, and then they'll eventually track you down. So what I think I do want to try eventually is the super platoon. I haven't done any of that yet. No, Cliffy. And you can pick your tank when you get on the map. Now, you don't know what the other team has, but when you get on the map, you can see your team, and then you can actually select it during the countdown. You can select the tank. You can change what you have based on the map, and maybe even the setup of your team. Sometimes people will type in, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And that's cool. I did get one comment, no Mana Core. I took it anyway, because I do what I want. But you can't complain necessarily that you're losing if you're going to take a tank that is not really meta for the mode. It's irritating to me that it isn't, that scouts don't matter that much, but that's just the nature of the beast. You can scream at the clouds, but the clouds are still not going to care. 3 red E100s, perfect. Well, I'm down in debutante mode too, so I'm just down there with all the rest of the common riffraff. So chaos reigns down in that area. The assumption is as you get higher, people will be doing better. So that makes me wonder, what is... there's a leaderboard. So what do we got going on here? We've got a guy with 1,432 rating points in 115 battles from the 11th. So that's 5 days. Huh. Well, this guy's done 218. So 5 days, 218. Wow. It's almost 50 battles a day. Goodness gracious. 40 at least, right? 5 times 40 is 200. Oof. 40. 40. Oh, man. Whew. So this guy is number 1. He's legend. Oh, okay. So you can actually change by ranks. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, just these 2 ranks. Okay. So you can look at legend and champion. Who's the top champion? Who's the top legend? Yeah? Yeah. Champion. Oh, I see it. Oh, what? Legend. Oh, these are the only legends. Okay. So far. These are the only guys in legend, and then these are the guys in champion. Now, are there rewards for these? I think there are, but where are they listed? Is it here? Oh, no. It's just styles? Oh, okay. Is that it? No, there's some other stuff going on down here. More bonds. What does that mean? Daily reward. Oh. All right, so you're cranking bonds for being on the leaderboard for these 2 ranks. Interesting. You're getting some other little doodads and styles. Huh. Well, look at that. So you're just sitting there cranking out bonds passively while you're sitting on the legend level. Just got the Patriot. Seemed to miss too many shots. Unbalanced, not hitting where I'm shooting. When I do, even in goal, my DPG is about half it should be. I have less than 1 skill. No brothers on. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, well, yeah, you're at tier 8, man. So you need to get the crew better. Obviously, I would certainly. It's going to get better when you get brothers in arms. That's going to help you hit stuff. That tank is difficult right now. It only does 240 alpha. You know what I'm saying? So a heavy at tier 8, plinking away at 240. There are tier 7 mediums that do that and more. So you got to be real careful with that thing. It's a great little hold down tank. Not against tier 9s and 10s. So yeah, yep, absolutely. You have to hit. So try to tame the gun as much as you can. Get the gun as accurate as possible, because with the little pew pew guns you need to hit, and you need to be hitting people in the weak spots. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't trade well. You got vents and vert stab. All right, there you go. You could put an IA on it. You could drop the vents and put an IA just for a solid improvement of the dispersion, but you're losing all the other stuff your vents give you. You may not even need a rammer, man. It does reload pretty quickly. Yeah, it ups the DPM a bit, but you might consider an IA overall. Definitely get your brothers in arms built up on that bad boy. You're going to want snapshot as well for your gunna. Anybody else got any other good advice for Max there? Doing snap, there you go. Crew books could get him there. There you go. Good point. Buy a Renegade. Yeah, there you go. All right, so not a bad event. The other thing I wanted to talk about on Onslaught, and then we'll take a quick break, is I do not like, back to the scout thing, Guido whining about the scout thing. I do not like the stupid find everybody on the map power up. But I think part of the reason they have that is they knew scouts weren't going to be very useful, so they sort of chucked that out there to help you find people. You know what I mean? But if you're trying to be a sneaky scout and one of them pops that and then you're spotted, you're like... But there you go. It's not a scout mode. It's not a scout mode. We're going to take a 5-minute break. I got to recharge my coffee, my friends. I'm down at the bottom, so you do the same. We'll come back and talk a little bit more about tanks and whatnot. Give me 5 minutes here, fellas.
came a mysterious chap who spoke in a tongue with strange dialect. He offered his help to the mighty Guido to bring some laughter to his love of speedos. To the coffee talk they both came, to bring the message of winning ways to all and sundry and the masses. Yes, that's right, lads and lasses. The damage counts and flexing back will keep you on the right track. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So in what, if you want to progress, then seek out Guido nonetheless. With his sidekick Pilgrim, he has a message that to win you must be aggressive. The position and place that you must seek, for the winners only, not the weak. The guru speaks, so listen well. His voice rings out like the Liberty Bell, to bring you all to Unicom land, or to die hard trying in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. To the swamplands came the mountain man, to teach his wisdom and pay his due. A man with a name only known to a few. To his followers his words are true. Guido is the man, big and gruff. He used to fly jets, but now he does the tanking stuff. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido.
All right, my friends, we are back. Yeah, Guido Mocha. Who am I? I don't know. Could be Mocha. She has that look, man. She has that not impressed look. My hair is absolutely Karawacha today, man. Holy cow. The song reminds me of a cutscene of Monty Python. Good. That's actually good, man. That's actually good. I'm glad that it does that. That sounds about what we were looking for, I think. Let's not take ourselves too seriously here. Alrighty. Let's see what else we got. Onslaught, yeah. I might try to do that. God, it's just my issue with it, as we've always talked about, is that it's at night, and I don't play that much at night. So getting that many wins. Well, if you consider 5, I don't know if I just sort of play a few games a night, I could get there, I suppose. You know what I mean? Play a few games. But even if you say a few games, what could you get in an hour? Let's say they went 10 minutes, but that seems long. But still, there's kind of the countdown and the resetting and all the other crap. 5 games an hour? Maybe? Is that about right? So even an hour, you'd have to win all 5. That's probably sounds like a 2-hour event at with a 50% win rate. You're probably buying 2 hours. Would you say? Unless you're really good or you're in a platoon doing well. I can see the platoons helping people, man, especially if your platoon's doing well. Although you're against other platoons, so, it depends on how many times you get matched up against that super Unicum platoon that keeps beating your arse. So I don't know, man. It seems like a 2-hour. It seems like you're a 2-hour time sink a night, though, to me. Do a Leroy and get more game. You could. Yeah, but you need wins. So I don't know, man. If you Leroy and your team doesn't win, where does that leave you? You can Leroy a bunch of losses. Sutek estimates 10 an hour. Okay. So it's certainly, depending on how you do it, I would say it's a 1 to 2 hour a night thing to get your 5 wins. And somebody else mentioned you could front load it and do a bunch and get ahead of the game and then trickle it out. There's obviously ways to do it. So there you go. Well, fellas, are you ready for a cat? Are you ready? Let's go. Let's retire to the coffee shop for a moment here. Are you ready for Bitwise? You don't know about the cat? You love cat witches. Cliffy's all over it. He loves cat witches. Okay, so what am I talking about? What on earth is Guido talking about? Well, I'm talking about this, which kind of snuck in amongst all the other things. The Halloween event is going to happen, and it's all fun and witchcraft. Pumpkin Bash. Here's the cat. This is the cat. Mini advanced there, Brennan. There you go. Done and set. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So how are you finding the 7-person? You like that? You like that? I think that would be fun. I know the NACCs did some, I think last night. I just wasn't around to do it. Maybe I can get on board with some of those guys. And you know, we got drugged back there. We're going to talk about the cat in a minute. But it is fun, and I did some testing on it with the other CCs when they were first testing it. And when you have a group of people and you're talking, it is quite fun, actually. It might be 13 Disciples Cat. Maybe 13 Disciples Cat was the model. There you go, Brendan Dalton. Awesome, man. Good. Yeah, like I said, I'm not poo-pooing the 7v7. I think it's a fantastic format. I would really love... I'm getting drugged back into it again, but whatever. It's what we do here. I would really love to see some Tier 8 or even Tier 6 or Tier 7 or 9, for that matter, events like this. Well, I just wish it wasn't always Tier 10. I get it that Tier 10's end game, and the majority of it probably should be Tier 10. But let's have a 7v7 Tier 8. Why not? Yeah, he's a WWE champion, the cat, for sure. Also, we have to have... actually, is there 4 of them or 5 of them? I thought there was 5 girls. No, there's only 4. One's a cat. Okay, there's 4 girls and a cat. So we have... well, this is hilarious because this is an obvious Harley Quinn ripoff going on right here. Obvious Harley Quinn ripoff. Is this Laura Croft? I think so. I think that's Laura Croft. And I don't know who this is. Who's this over here? And then we have the Studious Witch thing. It's the how come the special crew or whatever? I'm not even going to say it. I've said it so many times. It's just cringy. It really is. I love these write-ups. These are funny. Witches can operate technical appliances. Appliances? Like the oven? What? I'm sorry. I'm immediately sorry I said that. But appliances? What? You mean vehicles, right? Or, I don't know, technology? I'm not sure. If the setting is right. If the setting isn't right, they can't do it. It's right out. These ladies can even command various sorts of armored battle machines. Okay, good. Not so long ago, Cordalina Astra had a magical tank and a crew no less magical. What happened to it? She is extremely attached to the rest of the witches in her coven and now wants to reconnect with them in this strange world. What happened? Why is she reconnecting? Has she been gone or something? What's going on here? I don't understand it. Okay, and then we have Sybil Brenhart, the Harley Quinn of the witches. When you are the youngest member of a small witch coven operating a magical tank, you aren't bossed around or mentored. You are cared for and genuinely liked due to your energetic and cheerful personality. Only sometimes there come reprimands for mischief. So Wait a minute. You aren't bossed around or mentored? They don't mentor her? What? You aren't bossed around or mentored. You're ignored. You're just ignored unless you party too much and then you get reprimanded. Is that what we're getting out of this? I don't. And too fiery. For now, Sybil Brenhart is done with that and ready to rejoin her crew. Where's she been? Oh, we're not supposed to read it? All right. Witches being careless and frivolous is a horrible, deeply insulting stereotype. You mean like these write-ups? Commoners who believe it are insulting every practitioner of magic devoted to learning, discipline, self-control, and accomplishment. Bloody commoners. Especially those who come from a family of immaculate repute, like Aurelia von Alden. Now she needs to recollect herself. Recollect or recollect? They're supposed to be ugly, Bitwise. These are not ugly witches. That's not the new meta of witches. The new meta is hot witches with big bosoms. All right? Look. Harley Quinn. See? Hot witches, female prize crews. Get with the program. And study her new surroundings from a researcher's perspective. All right, so she's the brain. All right, we got the technical leader person. Good with technical stuff. We got the party girl, Harley Quinn. Oh, sorry, Sybil Brenhart. We have the brains of the operation. All right, and then we have, what is she? If this tank crew of 4 witches were a pop group, all right, where are we going with this? Deidre Grimhilt would be its kind-hearted drummer. Well, according to the information we have from This Is Spinal Tap, she's going to self-combust at some point. Don't all the drummers always die? Let's see. She likes cookies, so there's always lots of crumbs in her pockets for all the small, hungry critters. She loves her sisters in arms and always offers the bulk of the cookies to them. In parentheses, they love her too, so they only take one. I don't. Yes, it was a bizarre gardening accent. Bizarre. It was. We don't talk about it. We don't want to talk about it. I think Harley Quinn eats more than one cookie. What do you guys think? There's no way this fiery partier who's too loud only eats one cookie. All right. Her skills as a natural-born mechanic will be needed again. And then we have Caudemius. All right, folks, can we just be honest for a second about cats? How many of you are cat people? It's fine. It's fine. I have a cat. I do. We call him Little A-hole. Good question. Why do you need a mechanic if you know magic? I think we're about to find out. But I'm a dog person. I mean, I like the dog. The cat's fine. The cat kills critters around the house, takes out rats, does what cats are supposed to do. It's an outside cat, comes in and eats, doesn't poop in my house in a box. That's very important for me. That animals don't poop in boxes in my house. I don't like that. It's not good. Witches have cats. It is a trope. It is a stereotype. It's true. But don't you think it's a fact that a lot of these gamer dudes just all love cats? I'm with Cliffy on that. I've had cats most of my life. There's been a cat around. But it's not been the primary creature. You know what I mean? Yes, not working as intended. That's a great question. While I'm insulting cat people and being an a-hole. Down at the bottom left, see this number right here? Let me get the cursor on. There we go. See this number down here, right above these buttons? 361. Now be careful because I think... Nope, that's how many of it. Yeah, there's something that... There we go. Depending on which one of these you press, you may get a different... You'll certainly get a different number here, but this rental thing, if you click on it, it takes the rentals out of the count, the total count. So for some reason I have 7 rentals. I don't even know what the hell they would be, to be quite honest. I have almost every tank, but I have 7 rentals somehow in here. But that's your number right there. You can either get it there or you can get it... well, now it's gone. Why is it gone? Is that because I did have something selected? Yes. Okay, why not? So if you don't have it there, you haven't selected anything here. Click this and you will get it. It's up here. There you go. Perfect. All right, I'll stop insulting cat people. Y'all are awesome. Again, it's not that I don't like cats. Cats are fine. I find the weird fascination with cats by a lot of gaming people to be very strange. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a jerk. Probably. But anyway, there's a cat. Caudamus. All cats look mysterious, and when you establish eye contact with them, you always get a feeling they have a story to tell. I guess. Under the gaze of this one, you realize that his tale is about something more than a piece of raw meat snatched and devoured. Jeez. Or somebody's favorite curtains torn to ribbons. That's more common. If only he could talk. Wait, he actually can talk. And did he really say what I think he said? Oh my, how disrespectful. All right, that's a little funny. I'm gonna give him a small comedy bonus on that one. We do have a dog, Rudy. That's a historical dog, though, right? No, it's not. Is that actually a historical story? I don't know. It was a TV show, right? And they had the dog, but I don't know. Is that based on fact or fiction? This is all we know about it, though, guys. Other than this write-up. Oh, you're not seeing what I'm doing. You are not seeing it because I'm screwing it up. I think I can do this. Hold on. Stand by while I screw it up. There we go. Unusual victory conditions. You'll love these. That remains to be seen. Superpowers up for grabs on the battlefield. Great. Special abilities activated before battle. Yay. Unlimited respawns. And free ammo and repairs. Alright, cool enough. It says if you get the 5-person crew, they're going to have unique voiceover. Oh, that's not true. Wait, along with bonds and vehicle, rewards include a 5-strong crew of charismatic characters with different major qualifications. Okay, so there's 5 crew members up for grabs, basically. Each crew member also has a unique voiceover. 5 different major... Okay. So you're going to get a commander, gunner, loader, driver, and radio operator? Are they really going to make one of them a radio operator? The tank in the video is a tiger. No way would they make one of them a radio operator. I think that's happening. Could be 2 loaders or something, I suppose. And they got a voiceover. If you listen to the video, you'll hear the voices. They're kind of what you would expect. Yeah, one of them might be a radio operator. She's the technical one. All right, so what would that be then? If we look at their qualifications, is she the radio operator? She has a radio. She's fire. This has to be the gunner, right? Sybil's the gunner. This one would be the... I guess he's the commander. The cat has to be the commander. He seems to be in charge of things. One's the loader and driver. It's hard to tell here which is which. She looks like maybe she has some kind of weaponry here. So maybe she's the loader and this is the driver. Yeah. If humans were smaller than cats, yeah, I know. Yep. I occasionally come out the front door. 2 things are going on with my cat right now. First one is, and this is not unusual, but it will take out birds. But what it does is it puts them on on the front sidewalk, and it breasts them. It eats the breasts out of them. My cat will actually eat the birds. It's not that I make him go hungry. The stupid thing comes in twice a day and eats. And the second thing is, it has taken to stealing shoes from neighbors' houses. So shoes on porches and things. The other day I got a slipper. So I called my wife. I'm like, hey, did you leave a slipper out on the front porch for some reason under the swing? She's like, no. What kind is it? And I read it. She said, that's not mine. I'm like, oh, great. Stole another slipper. Slippers, Crocs. He's brought back people's Crocs that sit on their porches. It's a tiny cat. That's what I'm saying, Born. It's literally one of the smallest cats I've ever owned. It's crazy. That's right. It found it. The see, now I'm bragging on my cat. I just gave cat people grief, and now I'm talking about my cat. He's known at the vet as Scrappy, because probably every 3 or 4 months we bring him in with wounds because he likes to fight. Might be Pilgrim's slipper, actually. Could be. All right, so there's some cat event coming on. Some freaking cat event. Let's go see what is going on in the near future, my friends. What do we got? So here's the Prime Gaming thing. It's a 122.44. It's a Rheinmetall Scorpion and a rental of the 112. You can get a free Quickie Baby. Does anybody tried this? So for NA, if you haven't played in the last 30 days, so if you have an alt account, I'm assuming, you could log in. You know, you have to use the login email from your alt account, log into the NA page, and throw this code in and see if you get a free Quickie Baby. Kind of interesting. Cliffy, go do this, man. You don't want don't want a Quickie Baby? All right. So there's the codes. Check it out. Let me know if it works. Skill has a code too. Oh, fantastic. There you go. Check that out. These codes are the same codes, I believe, that I just showed you. So they'll set you up. That will give you the Duke or Cobra Commander and a 20% discount. Oh, I didn't talk about that discount. The discount is a little tricky. It's not for everything. I think it's for the old stuff or maybe the big packages. I'm not sure. So there's deck skill. So basically there's a code for all of them, right? Must be. There must be a code for all. Is it on? This may be, click on here. Nope, it's just the Quickie Baby one. The comments on this page are hilarious, actually. You got a Quickie Baby, haven't played it? All right, there you go. Crush Gaming got it. Was it an alt account that you hadn't played for 30 days? Or did you buy it or something? Orzanel's code's all the way at the bottom of wherever you find the codes. All right, that's all I know. Poor Orzanel. Best replays, blah, blah, blah. 14 kills. Wow. G.I. Joe we talked about. What else did we got? The Commanders out. Monthly drops we talked about. Pumpkin Bash. There is a video right here about the devs developing Onslaught. So if you're interested in some of the from the horse's mouth kind of thing. I have to tell you, when I see the developers of this game, I understand why the older generation and that older core group of people don't get a lot of attention. It's your main, haven't been on in a bit. There you go. All right, cool. This also talks about, it's got some pictures of the various characters there. The number of people who have switched is now 766,000 from RU to EU. So that's slowing down a little bit, but that's a lot of people. I mean, holy crap, that's, 750,000. Not good with math, but that's a lot. As we talked about, those are probably a lot of alt accounts. I would imagine a lot of people in Europe probably have accounts on both. Maybe they're bringing their alts over, stuff like that. Somebody, where did I read this? it was either Reddit or one of you guys. Somebody said that they are still playing their RU account. Everything's switched over. They have the client. Everything's working fine right now. The store is all in rubles. So there you go. Yeah, Dark Side. There's two of them. Be careful. You put the one you want. So one gives you a Duke, one gives you a Cobra Commander. Well, there you go. It works. Cliffy has proven it. So grab them codes. Okay, Halloween 2022. All right, this is what I want to talk about here. This is the first researchable vehicle on super test for the new Chinese heavy line with the rockets and the frickin' laser beams. This thing has a massive HE gun on it. 1,600 damage with only 75 pen, or a 1,000 with a 225 pen, which is obviously low for a tier 10, but that is a massive amount of damage. So it looks like HE and heat. This must be a heat round, I think, based on the color that we're looking at right there. -8 gun depression, but check this out. A 30-second reload time, 3-second aiming time, and 0.4 dispersion. But holy cow, you hit somebody in pen. Again, it's a low pen at 75. Only 30 rounds, although I think you'd be hard-pressed to put 30 rounds downrange with a 30-second reload. Here's the mobility, 35, 15 backwards, which is ridiculous. It should not go backwards that fast. But it can be boosted to 53 with the rocket power. And what's funny about that is if you hit rocket power, your backwards is almost 0. It's 1. Basically, you're working against the rocket, so you can't back up. So when you hit the rocket boost, you're going to want to have to go forward. You don't want to have to back up with the rocket boost. But you're going to blaze along at 53. Let's see what else we got going on here. You have 6 charges. Looks like you can do it 6 times. That's interesting. I didn't know it was charge limited. So you only... I guess that's 6 full times you can hit rocket boost. You do it for 10 seconds, and then it has to cool down for 5. The reload time's 5 seconds. So you get 10 seconds. That's quite a long time, actually. If you think about how far you get in 10 seconds in the game, it sounds like not a long time, but if you sit here and you go 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, and then you consider how much movement you're doing in that time in the game, and then increase yourself to 53, you're blazing along for quite a long time. Which means you can't stop it until 10 seconds, right? It's going for 10 seconds. When you hit it, that you're going. Yeah, there you go. If you consider a lot of heavies at that tier are around a 10-second reload to slightly above. Yep. So that means that thing's gonna boost, and doing 53, it's doing medium to light tank speeds. Not quite light tank, but certainly medium speeds. If you boosted it right out of the cap, followed the mediums, 5-second cooldown, and then boosted again, you're probably to most of the medium tank spots right away. Yep, it is begging people to overextend and get nuked. What's funny to me about it is, say you're approaching that point that you want to get to, right? But you still have 5 seconds of boost. Now, if you stop, you're only going to be creeping, you're only going to go backwards by 1. You're going to be barely going backwards, but you're going to be fighting that. So if you overextend and go outside of, say you go outside the cover or around the corner you didn't want to do, you'll ram on the brakes, you're not going anywhere. I think there's going to be a lot of funny stuff happen with this thing, man. Oh, Cliffy. That is, I wonder that would be cool to test to see what happens when you do that. Like, what do the physics do in a slide turn with that thrust coming out the back? I wonder if it would speed up your spin, or if it would actually slide you. I don't know if it would necessarily spin it, because it would, you know what I'm saying? I think it would be something like, because the thrust vector's coming out the back, so as you try to spin, it's going to continue to try to push you forward. So as opposed to spinning like this, it's going to be more of around the corner, right? Like a drifter. Would it be more like a drifter? I think it would be. Because you still have that forward thrust going on. You know what I'm saying? When you spin the tanks, there is a little bit of forward thrust, but it's mostly spinning. It seems like on this one it's going to be more drifting around corners. So it could be some. That's true. It does, and it will also depend on how they mech the physics of it. So we'll see. That's going to be interesting. So those are coming. I was thinking it might be Christmas, but I doubt it. This sounds like a New Year thing, like they've done for the last few New Years. They had new lines come out around the New Year. Maybe during or after the Chinese New Year in that February, March timeframe. Late January. No, late January is really just ending up holiday ops because usually it goes about halfway through January, if not to the end. So I think that February-ish place, like they've done in the past, would be my guess. But really, they're only in super tests, so I don't know. That might be too close. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. We'll see how fast they get them through. There's only one of them in super test. There is a premium that's been put into the files, so this might be a case of they release the premium at Christmas, so people can work crews and do all that, and then we have a release much later. They've done that in the past. It's been a while since they've done it that way, but they have done it that way in the past, so that's a possibility too. You can look at the different changes on things. This was the nerf to the M454. I don't think it hurt it that much. Yeah, 100 hit points. And did it not get the speed? Surely it got the speed nerf. Did it not get it? It's not listed here. That doesn't mean it didn't get it. This is a Tier 9 American TD. Says completely ready for release. This smells like a Christmas thing. Smells like a Christmas thing. It's had its gold from 100 to 1275, so it looks like it's ready for Christmas. Here's the premium I was just talking about, and it's a Tier 8 for the new line. Got a little nerf to its gun depression from -11 to -10. Yes, it's coming off of the 58. Which I have built up some experience on mine. If you come in here to the tech tree, my friends, and you go to the Chinese, you will find that the Type 58 is right here. It's a Tier 6. So it goes, this line will be, 7, 8, 9, and 10, it looks like, with a premium at Tier 8. All right. What else we got? I think that was pretty much it for that. Cat event. Yep, I think that's it, fellas. There's some style stuff in here. This is a Tier 10 auto loader. This feels like maybe a Clan Wars thing or something like that. It's a heavy tank auto loader with 3 shells, Chinese. It's not attached to the new line in any way, so obviously those are, what are they, mediums? I think they're heavies, actually. Here's the RU rebranded thing. And then we've had 1.8 released, and that's pretty much it. For subjects du jour, saw a BT on EU server yesterday. Oh, good, so somebody's testing it then. There you go. The Tier 8, not working? Are you talking about the Tier 8? It will be available for watching later on the Twitch channel. Yeah, I've got my 58. I was running it for Battle Pass because it's a Tier 6, so I got it to the 100 points and then put it back down. But it is now sitting at 60,000, which I think should be fine for pretty close to unlocking the 7. I don't remember. Somebody showed me how to find that amount once. Is it here? Where was that, fellas? I don't remember. There's a way to find out what the amount was. Is it here? No, that adds it to comparison. I don't remember. I thought there was a way to find out what it costs to get to it, even if you've unlocked it, but I don't remember. No worries, Woody. No worries, man. All right. Well, that's pretty much it, my friends. That is all the coffee talking I have. We didn't have the extra banter from Pilgrim. Hopefully he will be, I think he will be anyway, here next week. Pretty sure we should go next week, no problem. I might be able to stream tomorrow, so I'm actually kind of planning on it as I think about it. I've got some things to do, and then hopefully early afternoon kind of thing, we will stream a little bit. That'll be good. That'll get one in for the week, so that'll be nice. And that is pretty much it. Unless anyone's got any parting shots or questions out there, I do appreciate everybody coming by. We will raid somebody today. Let's not forget that. So Coffee Talk, again, obviously next week at 7. Pilgrim will be back. I'm planning on streaming tomorrow. No promises. We'll see what happens. Let's check out who we got up to raid. Anyone I know? Not really. I will take any requests you have if there's somebody you know. Duke Commander means assigned. Okay. Thanks, Darkside. Probably the most important PSA we got today. I mean, you only have, let's do the math here, 78 years to sort that out. If you don't remember to get your Duke Commander by 2100, it is not my fault. It's time to tank. Crush Gaming, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. And Brendan Dalton, I am sorry. You also followed me, and I completely blew it off. Thank you as well. Welcome. You sent me a message in Discord. All right, great. I love messages in Discord. They're the best. They're the best. What? Where are my messages? Oh, Discord. I'm completely out to lunch. That's not Discord, that's Twitch. It's hard being stupid. Yeah, let me get you the codes, man. Hold on. The website is actually the Armored Patrol. Which codes did you want? Are you talking about the... What the hell is going on here? Talking about the Quickie Baby one, or... Hold on, let me fix this here. What is going on? Let me just give you the website, man. The Armored Patrol is what I was using there. That is the website right there. Or if you're talking about the Cobra and G.I. Joe codes, just go to the official website. I really got to sort this crap out. Go to the official website, and you're looking for this article right here. G.I. Joe Returns, that one. Slide down here, and the codes are... Actually, they're not listed, are they? You have to click on the button. So it's the Joe one is G.I. Joe on Guard. And Cobra is Cobra Revenge. Now, I don't know. Somebody is saying that the other CCs have codes, but they weren't on that. They were not on that page. So the only one that was there was Quickie Babies. But everyone was saying that they exist. All right, cool. We're still trying to raid somebody, aren't we? Time for the raid. Skills code pops up in his chat. Good info. Can you use both? No, I tried, Gator. I tried to join because the other thing that's going on with that one for the G.I. Joe is you're joining a team for what I'm assuming is a follow-on event in the next week or so. I guess maybe it's just purely a join a team and whoever has the most people join wins. Don't know. Not sure. I'm gonna find somebody to raid here. Eva the Diva is not online. Son of a... Is she still doing tanks? I haven't seen her do tanks for a while. Let's go raid Django. I don't know who that is, but we're going to try it. We'll just do a random person this time. Oh my gosh, I've completely lost the plot here. There we go. We'll raid Django. All right, my friends. Thanks for coming by. Much appreciated. We're going to head out. You see tanking every once in a while, TOS. All right, there you go. We'll see you tomorrow. If not, we'll see you Sunday or maybe later in the week. You guys have a great week. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We will see you.